Welcome to the Undrafted Uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanker. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
I hope I got lucky because my computer's cutting out right now. Am I still alive?
We're started, Nick.
I think so.
I know.
I hear you. Go.
I'm
Welcome
trying,
in, everybody, to Undrafted Uncensored, where
nothing's
one
stopping
of us
Nick
has a
from talking.
computer that is freaking out. Two of us have computers at work. Two of us have headphones. And Nick is looking like he's trying to be an IT problem solver right now.
Am I alive?
Yeah, you're
You
good.
good,
I hear you.
What are you talking about? Just
I went through my intro, and you're like, "Yeah, we hear you," and then
No,
you
we didn't
cut
hear
out,
any
and
intro.
then you took over, and I was like, "So did my intro not go through?"
Heard no intro at all.
Oh, well, there's my intro. I'm alive now, so thanks for saving me, I guess, because it went through on my end, and then
Yeah,
you guys froze. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
I don't think you were freezing during the music, but I don't know if Joe heard any of it. Either way, we got it done.
Yeah, we're alive now. We're happy. It's snowing. There's no such thing as a snow day, by the way. We just work remotely, but wait, we always work remotely, so never mind. We're always remote.
This is all remote.
Not that
Because
remote.
Joe.
So stories. Just
Oh, you guys-
Vegas doesn't mean it stays in Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. So I know I mentioned it on the show Saturday. I was like, oh yeah, I might go to Vegas for the game Sunday. Wasn't quite sure about it. And then I was looking up the flights. My flight to go there was still there Saturday night. But I couldn't book the flight back until 1 a.m. because it has to be after midnight of the city that you're flying out of. So I had to wait until it's part of the pass. So at 1 a.m., I pop in to my Frontier account, hashtag not a sponsor, but I'd love you to sponsor my trips, even though I already have great deals from my Go Wild Pass. So 1 a.m., the flight back that leaves at midnight from Vegas is good to go. So I text my mom, like, can you take care of my dog? She's like, yep. I'm like, all right, I'm going to Vegas to watch the game. So I booked my flight at literally 1:10 Sunday morning, fly out at 6 a.m., get there at 8, get my hotel booked up. My hotel was like a mile away from the stadium, which was dope.
You stay on that end of the strip?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was on that side of the highway.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I just booked it up, got to Vegas, won $75 in the airport while I was talking to my friend Joey out in New Jersey on an Oompa Loompa slot. I was like,
Joey
okay,
from
cool, that's perfect. Joey from Jersey.
Jersey.
Hey, what's up, Spoon? If you're listening,
Well, that's not mafioso
Spoon.
at all.
His nickname is Spoon. No, definitely not mafioso. He used to live here, but so I was talking to him. I'm like, I might as well. My name is Spoon. Hey, you want to know why I'm Spoon? No, you don't. So that was cool, and get to my hotel, check in, immediately take an Uber to Tacos El Gordo.
Dude, that was a line.
Yeah, well, that was
packed.
yeah. It was 10 a.m. So right when they opened, so the line wasn't as bad as normal. I went back later that night afterwards, and there was big ass line.
Oh, sure.
But went in, get tacos, went over to Resorts World and won another like $200 on the slots, which was dope.
Jeez.
Then I found my tickets. Shout out to Steve. So I had a cool deal with Steve. I bought my ticket for $180. He had a second one he was trying to sell, but couldn't. He's like, if you can sell it, you keep the half the profits, and I'll take half. So I basically got a half price ticket. I sold it for just under $180.
Oh, wow.
But it was after the game started, so I was like, fine, whatever. So cool. Shout out to Steve for hooking it up with the ticket. Like I said, so spent like $100 on a ticket to get in.
That's not bad.
But getting in, that stadium is getting in sucked because my ticket wouldn't scan, so I was freaking out for a minute. I was like, this damn guy, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass. Not really. I knew it was good, but it was just like, what the hell is going on here? And then all of a sudden, after waiting 20, 30 minutes in line, it scans right away. And it's good to go. So whatever. Before that, went to the Raiders tailgate. Broncos, we got work to do. That was legit.
Yeah, Joe.
Do they have a life-size replica of the horse? I don't think so. They have Rod Smith visit their tailgate? I don't think so.
Yeah, Rod Smith probably wouldn't go, but they have a bunch of people there. They have stands. They have, they have like literal people making fresh tacos. I mean, it's the Broncos have work to do. I mean, it was a great time hanging around the tailgate there.
Just wait till that
what?
It's just wait until that Walmart's there in the middle of the Broncos parking lot.
Yeah, this sounds very commercial to me.
It was a little, obviously the Raiders not being good. There was a little less hatred knowing where each team was at this point in time.
Yeah.
But there's still some shit talk back and forth, which was fine.
As there should be.
And, I got offered a lot of drinks, obviously, which was cool. I politely declined except for, some sodas and water, but food all around. People were cool. I took a bunch of pictures for people, with people, and it was funny. Every time I was taking it with them, they're like, hey, Broncos. I'm like, yeah, can you take a picture? I'm like, sure. So I, of course, took like 3 of myself and then like 2 of them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
why wouldn't you?
We'll see when
you
they
hold up the phone and you go Broncos.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said when I was taking their picture. I'm like, all right, everybody, go Broncos. But got to hang out with my friend Sandy, who I've known since when I was in New Mexico. She was at college at UNM when I worked down there. So got to see Sandy, her husband, and her friend, which was dope. Sparkle is her nickname, and she sparkled. She had all that bright Vegas bling, silver and gold, or silver and black on, which was pretty easy to find. But tailgate was dope. Stadium walking in, besides getting in, that sucked. But it was all clean. Really cool outdoor area there that you can walk around the whole stadium. That's inside of the stadium, like inside the stadium gates.
Yeah,
but you're not physically inside the stadium. So once you get in, everything is clean. The Al Davis Memorial flame is legit. Awesome. It's cool. I love how they have throwbacks or shout outs to all the old teams, old players all around the stadium, and remembering the greats that played for the Raider organization, which was really cool. I found a lot of really cool spots with some different stuff. The stadium design, I think, is awesome. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Where I was sitting right by the end zone where the stage is. So, excuse me, you walk in and it's just this whole open area, and then there's a stage, and then there's the field, and it's a really cool setup. They did a phenomenal job there.
Yeah,
but it's huge. It is unbelievably huge.
I told you.
Yeah, I liked it. There's a lot of cool artwork. Like I said, all the stuff about the old players is there. The fans, like I said, they were really cool. We'd give shit to each other. The one guy at the end, I don't know if you guys heard. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a Broncos fan escorting Raiders fans out at the end of the game. All right, everybody, single file. Form one lane. We know you lost. Let's not get angry. One lane on your way out. That's right.
Wow.
To your right, down the stairs. Take the L on the way out.
That's fantastic.
And I didn't see any fights or anything like that, but if there was going to be one, it probably would have been right there.
Yeah.
I did get a little shit talked because I went up and asked if they had NA beer at one place, and then one of the Raiders fans was like, well, NA, what is that? We don't do that here. Maybe you do it in Colorado. I'm like, I wouldn't be here if I was drinking regular beer. So you know what? I'm all right with you talking shit. Like, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah. I'll remember tomorrow.
Yeah, but there were, but I did find some NA beers, which is up. It was Coors Edge. So thanks for supporting Colorado.
Yeah.
And
Coors at the Raider Stadium. I love that.
I was sitting next to two separate groups of fans, one husband and one wife, and then one father, one daughter. And we were talking crap. The father-daughter, they were Giants fans, which was pretty cool to talk to since I'm going out to New York and going to do a stadium tour. Their aunt gave them the tickets.
Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They live there now. They just moved there a few years back. But either way, so I had a chance. Yeah, Emma and Steve were the son or the daughter and dad, and then Mike and Cindy, I think, were the husband wife.
You could just make up.
I don't know. I screwed up my shot with Emma. I think Emma, if you're listening, I should ask for your number. Whatever, you ain't listening because ain't nobody watching yet, so it's too early for us. It was it was fun, man. The stadium was cool. Leaving afterwards, leaving was fine, except the team store. The only thing I was pissed about is normally I get little pins. Yeah. The only thing they had was like these commemorative pins that were like $80 for a set of 5. Wow. There was a magnet for the game, like a little bookmark size magnet that cost $22. As far as me getting things from the game, I didn't really bring anything back besides a cup that had a Broncos Raiders logos emblazoned on them. That cool. Was it because I ate a bunch of food. The food there, they had a elote hot dog wrapped in bacon. $18 hot dog, totally worth it. Their hot chicken that was habanero spice, totally worth it.
Did you get the Guy Fieri burger?
What?
Did you get the Guy Fieri burger?
No. I didn't even see the Guy Fieri stand there.
It was a little further down, like when you come in where that entrance is.
Yeah, I walked through the whole thing.
Huh. Maybe he's not sponsoring that stand anymore.
Maybe not. I don't know. I didn't see it. I probably would have skipped it to go to stuff on the strip. But then after the game, walking back to the hotel, went back and got to the hotel. Wasn't going to take an Uber from the stadium because that would be stupid. But went back down to Tacos El Gordo and got another set of 6 tacos. Went back to Resorts World. Won another 600, but decided to put that 600 back in. So I didn't leave. I basically left even because my plane got delayed. Coming back, I was supposed to leave at midnight, and I ended up leaving at 2 a.m. So that extra time in the airport, I won $50 more on the slots.
Jeez. Only in Vegas.
And then I came home and I worked the next morning right away.
Oh God!
Straight from the airport to work.
That's like the ultimate Vegas drinking binge without the actual drinking binge.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And showing up to work next day, I wasn't hungover, but I sure as hell was tired. But it was a hell of a 16 hours in Vegas and basically a 24-hour time span.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Like I said,
told you to go, dude. Like, we knew you were gonna have fun.
Well, yeah, but it was all about making sure I could get my flight back. Because if I didn't get my round trip flight was $30, but if I didn't get that return flight for $15, the flight back was going to be like $225 or something like that. Ooh. So that's why I had to wait for that other flight to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I had paid the $225, I actually probably wouldn't have put back the $600 I had won.
Right.
I probably would like, okay, now we're good.
I don't. That pass is so cool. I just don't know how you have the patience for that, dude. I can't just. I couldn't be there like wait for the flight. I need to go. Like if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go.
There's a reason why not everybody does it. That's all right though. But I mean I love it, and the stadium, like I said, I had a great time in Vegas overall. I think that the people there, like I said, there was a lot of crap talk, but at the end of the day, it was all in fun. Yeah, and I didn't run into any bad Raiders fans. That's the one thing I can say that I was really surprised about. It was all really friendly banter, and I know that there are good ones out, obviously good ones out there, but 99% of the time, like you have one dumbass, but there were no dumbasses at all around, at least that I encountered. I'm not saying that there aren't, but I didn't encounter any. I loved every time that the Raiders, I would just yell, suck! But Broncos fans showed up, man. That stadium was full of Broncos fans.
Yeah, I loved it. Like just looking at the camera feed, dude, you see all that orange. I'm like, this is a home game.
Yeah, it was. And it got loud like it. Even when the Broncos were going into halftime after they had played like they did, we were booing. Like it was not a good first half from the Broncos.
No, it was not.
So, like I said, it was fun. It was really dope. I would love to go back and hang out again. Like I said, shout outs to everybody that helped out. Sandland, Sandy, Steve, Karen, my hotel person, all the flight attendants. I mean, everything. It was such a dope trip.
Yeah, it would have been cool. My uncle actually called me a few days before, like, I kind of got a wild hair and I kind of want to go out to the game. Because he likes to go out to Vegas. He actually got married out in Vegas. Him and his wife were together for like 30 years before they ever got married. So then they ran away to Vegas and, got married from Elvis.
Nice.
Went to a Def Leppard concert. But I'm like, yeah, man, that sounds awesome. Go for it. I have to work because it's a Bronco game. But so there was, there wouldn't have been anybody that could have covered for me. But if there was someone that could have covered for me, we may have been able to go to that game together.
That would have been cool. I mean, I would have had an extra ticket.
There you go.
For a while.
At the time, yes.
So he found somebody else to go do other stuff with, and he leaves you behind the stadium by yourself.
Well, yeah, if she's cuter than me, you should.
National championship.
No, I never even showed up with you there.
I know, that's what I mean. He'll leave you at the stadium all by yourself.
You knew I wasn't going from early on. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend I left you alone.
All right, good point. Yeah, I knew you weren't going. That's why I bought a ticket. All right. Speaking of the Big 12 or Pac-12 championship,
yes,
shift to the Big 10.
One of the 12s.
Yeah, one of those conferences. The Buffs cannot get lost in the noise, and they just need to do what they need to do against Okie State. That's all there is to it at this point. You put yourself in a bad spot. You had your destiny in your hand, and you smashed it like Mongo smashing a bird.
They blew it.
It was a terrible look.
Sitting there, hoping that they would make that second half come back last weekend and show some signs of life, and they showed a little bit, but they the thing that I was afraid of all season long, that I finally got out of my system, came back to bite me in the ass, and it came back to bite the Broncos or the Buffs in the ass too. They were looking ahead. They looked past Kansas, the team that had beaten top ranked teams. They didn't come ready, and Kansas did, and that sucks because this team legitimately had a chance. I know everyone. I know a lot of people are saying that they didn't have a chance in the college football playoff, but with the way this year in college football, but no, I honestly believe they did. And I still believe they would if they could make it in. I don't think they're going to, though. But I think they legitimately had a chance to win the championship with the way they were playing before that Kansas game. The way college football has been, the way the upsets have gone, the way that top-ranked teams have fallen or top-ranked teams have looked not untouchable, but I don't know. They've had flaws. They're flawed. All these teams are flawed, including Oregon at number 1.
Yeah.
Now Oregon is damn good. Their flaws are few and far between. But I also think that if it had been a CU versus Oregon showdown, CU would have a little bit extra chutzpah, and they'd have a little extra juice going against them after last year's beatdown that they suffered in Oregon. And I would give them much more of a chance than I think any of the Riders would in that game. But we're not going to see that now because they laid an egg, and it sucks, and it hurts the chances for, well, obviously Travis Hunter still is on a lot of awards lists, but the Jim Thorpe Award now he's not on for some reason. It's the best DB. That's interesting. He's, you never know what's going to happen with the Heisman because of this loss now.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough for that team to have those things happen. I do like what Prime said, though, that everyone's playing in the bowl games, though. Bowl game.
So Sorry about that. Just to refresh everybody's memory, in order for the Buffs to make the Big Ten championship, 10, 12, what number are we on?
Big 10.
Is it still Big
10? No, 12.
12.
It is
13.
Big 12. Okay.
Big 13.
One scenario, the Buffs have to win, obviously, and it requires losses by
BYU,
Arizona State,
Arizona
BYU,
State.
or Iowa State. Yeah. The other scenario would be a loss by BYU and a win from Texas Tech. So those are the two scenarios the Buffs have that will get them back into the championship talk.
Because they got to win the Pac-12 championship, or Pac-12, the Big 12 championship to get in, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in order to even get into that championship, 2 out of those 3 teams got to lose. Or you said Texas Tech and who else has to win?
Lost by BYU and a win from Texas Tech.
Okay. It hurts. It sucks because they had it. They had it right there in their hands. It was, and like, it's not like they've been amazing against the run before that. So, but like to see them fall apart that badly, it just, maybe that is kind of a similar Achilles heel to the Broncos. The Buffs may just not be able to handle those tough, hard-nosed running teams. Especially because it kept them off the field. So they couldn't execute the fourth quarter comeback or second half comeback that Colin was talking about earlier too. It's a shame, but and you pray that if they do end up in one of those scenarios, they don't end up playing some team that just runs the ball.
That would be their luck, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Like I don't know the playing styles of BYU, Iowa State, or Arizona State, but if any of them are like hard-nosed power run, like I know Iowa just runs the football, and I remember they were one of my buddies at the tailgate. He's a massive Iowa fan. Don't worry, he'll tell you about it. And he was so excited about punters all year last year. He was cheering every time the Broncos punter came out, and I'm like, dude, shut up! Stop cheering for failure. But it's an important. Iowa has a punter. That kid, I forget where he got drafted, but he's been pretty good this year. But like, that's the kind of team that I worry about CU facing. Which luckily Iowa's not good this year.
If they have to play Arizona State, you gotta watch out for Cam Scatterbo.
Scatebo.
Scatterbo's dope.
It's Scatebo time.
Okay.
Scatebo.
Dabba-dibba-roo.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like that the Buffs are playing on Friday too, because it feels kind of like when I was a kid again.
Friday Night Lights.
You have Thursday. You got the standard football games for Thursday. The Cowboys, the Lions, and the Packers, and somebody else. I don't remember who they're playing.
We'll go through them.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure we will. And then Friday the Buffs play. It just feels like that old tradition's back, where it's you sit at home and you relax a little bit, because we don't do Black Friday shopping. It's stupid.
I was gonna say, where is the game? Is it in Boulder?
It's here. It's in Boulder.
Ooh, so do you think they're gonna go all Black Friday?
I like where your head's at. Look at you.
Should get in their promotions department.
Yeah.
DMs are open, folks.
This is such a full, fun weekend of everything. I mean, all the sports. We have NFL Friday or Thursday, Friday, obviously Sunday, Monday, full slate of games Saturday. There's all the basketball going on, hockey. I mean, it's a great weekend. I mean, I'm glad I have some time off. I'm not doing a bunch of crazy stuff. I got to work a lot of Friday. The Chiefs Raiders game I am working, and then a show after that. But it's still going to be a good time to just be able to sit down and relax and watch just a bunch of sports.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to be able to hang out and actually watch a bunch of football because, like I alluded to, I've worked most Sundays this year. So I really haven't got a chance to sit down and actually watch a ton of games besides watching Bronco games relatively closely. But even then, I'm still busy doing other stuff. So it's going to be really nice to just hang out. Yeah, watch some Thanksgiving football. I just found out that I'm off from Amazon on Thursday. I didn't know. I figured we were just going to be going and I'd get time and a half. My boss looks at me and he's like, no, dude, we're off. So yeah.
You know,
That's crazy.
nice.
I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. Just real quick, because it's me. CSU still has a chance to make the Mountain West Championship too.
Sweet.
Basically,
And get destroyed by Boise.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey,
Still,
they'll finally make the Mountain West before they get out of the Mountain West. Give me a little bit of what we can have.
Is CSU leaving the Mountain West?
Yeah.
Really? Where are they going to go?
The Pac-12, I think. I thought they were heading out, or they were one of the teams that was.
Is the Pac-12 going to come back? Maybe I didn't hear about this because it's only what's
here. There's
well,
just two teams in it.
Well, yeah, it's like what? Isn't it just like
Pac-2.
Washington State, Oregon State? I want to say.
Yeah, and they went after some Mountain West teams to try and.
Ooh, so they're going to rebuild. I love this. Pac-12. Okay, so CU leaves Pac-12. CSU goes in the Pac-12. If the Pac-12 can like build itself back up, CU goes back. We get CU, CSU, same conference.
It's CSU, Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State are all leaving the Mountain West to join the Pac-12.
Cool. Okay,
so,
sick.
So it's official starting July 1st, 2026. So
26.
Still one more year.
Word.
So if CSU and UNLV were to end in a tie, first tiebreaker is head-to-head, but the teams didn't play. So the second tiebreaker is highest CFP ranking. UNLV was ranked 22 this year, so that kicks CSU out. The third tiebreaker is if neither team is ranked in the CFP. They will also that tiebreaker also goes to UNLV. So CSU has to win, UNLV has to lose.
Yeah, because we can't have those ties happen all the time. We can't have that. I'm glad we covered that.
College football doesn't have ties.
No.
I was like, how? I mean, unless there was like weather or something.
I'm just reading you what it says.
You're good.
I'm reading what it says.
Yeah. And I'm making fun of what it says.
UNLV plays the 0-6 Nevada Wild, whatever.
Oh, tied in rankings, not okay.
Rankings. Oh, okay.
I thought you were talking. I thought they had to play UNLV still.
I'm just reading what it says, dude.
Yeah, no, that's how it's worded. Yeah, no, you're not wrong, Colin. That's what the thing says. That
that's how it's worded, dude. So
yeah,
the game is not going to tie. But I see if they're tied in the rankings,
yeah,
then it would go to UNLV. So in other words,
it's like whoever wrote that didn't know they're playing.
Same thing as CU. Need to hope for other teams to lose.
Well, they just need to hope for UNLV to lose. And CSU has to beat Utah State.
Which we'll see. They should.
Yeah. It's going to be
anything.
The Utahs have come to play this year. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually have. For whatever reason, Utah found something in the water.
It's Mormonism.
And it isn't wine.
It's not wine.
And so, yeah.
We're on the same track there, Colin.
Here we go. We'll start Friday. I mean, it starts Friday for us, so.
Got to get
down
on Friday.
Let's go Buffs.
Fun.
And then, I mean, obviously, like we were just talking, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so the usual holiday slate, the 3 football games. Colin flashing his little hoodie there.
Peyton freaking Manning.
So
doesn't matter anymore.
I've got Admiral Akbar.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this weekend of NFL football. Last weekend was a cluster. We can get into last weekend's set of games too. But
well, do it. It just says NFL on the rundown, dude.
Well,
like we don't bounce around.
I know. No, I was just like last weekend was the definition of madness. I mean, you have the Cowboys
actually
winning, Rush winning against Jaden Daniels, and what did I tell you? What did I tell you about what? Oh my God, Kingsbury and his and his offense in the second half. Like the Commanders are going down, and that's Bo Nix's chance to go up. I haven't personally been this excited about a Broncos quarterback since Peyton Manning. So
nobody has. That's not a hot take.
It's not.
Who's going to be excited about? Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch.
No, I'm just saying that
I'm excited.
Colin's getting into the Kool-Aid now.
And,
okay, you're right, because he was calling him a bust early in the season.
I definitely was, because it looked like crap. It did. It all looked like crap.
He's a rookie. He's still
3
a rookie.
games, yeah, Colin. You got to give him more than 3 games.
Oh, he's a rookie, but look at what Jaden Daniels was doing.
Your first 3 days as a chef, how did you do?
I was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
I don't believe you for a second.
I never screwed anything up. No,
never once in my
life.
Don't
tell me that you didn't think it looked bad. It was, and I talked about it too. Part of it was on Sean Payton mixing up all the personnel early on and throwing all these things at the wall that weren't working. The offense was a cluster to start the season. I said all of these things, and that he needed to help Bo Nix out more, and he has. And Bo Nix has proven with that help that he's able to. He's more than competent to handle a game plan. Now, there are things that obviously need to be fixed. One of those things is the receivers dropping passes. Thankfully, little Jordan Humphrey didn't get the chance to fumble anything this last weekend. But no, I've been excited. But this last weekend in the NFL, you had the Vikings and the Bears go to overtime after some crazy ass plays. I sat there. The 49ers sucked. The Cardinals and Seahawks couldn't score a touchdown besides a defensive touchdown because Kyler Murray. The Chiefs and the Panthers went down to the wire. Panthers almost made a few people a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
There was some madness going on in the NFL this last weekend, and I'm just glad that the Broncos avoided it all. Because it looked like in that first half that the Broncos were going to get their ass handed to them. They could not stop you
run game.
said it earlier. They could not stop Amir Abdullah from getting out of the backfield. And thank God Gardner Minshew couldn't throw a few extra yards and he looked like Russell Wilson trying to throw some screen passes out there, all right?
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. He was missing wide open Amir Abdullah, who was uncovered multiple times. And the Broncos, they were lucky in that first half that it wasn't a larger margin that they had to overcome.
Yeah.
So it was a very weird and screwed up weekend in the NFL as far as favorites winning or playing well. But it was exciting. I mean, you had the 49ers play the Packers and Brock Purdy gets ruled out at the end, before the game starts. It was a weird weekend.
Yeah, weird
weekend. Snow game with Cincinnati or Cleveland and Pittsburgh, which, you know what? All y'all saying, oh, this is how football is supposed to be. Did they not play football in September, October outside of the snow in like the 50s?
No, never once.
No.
Never once? Okay.
No.
Only when it snowed was there football, so it has to be football weather when it snows.
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins played in the snow for every game.
Every game.
You don't know about how snowy Miami used to be?
Yeah, you had to walk uphill barefoot to the stadium.
Yeah, in Florida, both ways in the snow.
I have no problem. I have no problem with snow games or that weather being involved, but it's not football weather. All right, football weather is any type of weather besides lightning. Let's not get this thing mixed up, guys.
Like, I mean, you kind of just proved yourself wrong though, because it is football weather.
Yeah.
Every weather is football weather. It's not like now it's football weather.
Well, it is football weather.
It's always been football.
They don't play football, or they don't play baseball in the snow.
Well,
believe me, I've been to many a snowy game.
They do. The Rockies Astros. I was at the Rockies Astros snow game.
Yeah, there was that game, I guess. But that's
one game.
That wasn't the snow that they had in Cleveland either.
No,
it wasn't snow.
But it's not like all of a sudden. No, it's not like all of a sudden it's football time because it's snowing. Like, come on, there are always games played outside of the snow. This is not
that much more exciting though.
Yeah, football is played in the winter, so yeah, football weather. It gets colder as the season goes on, so that when you get to the playoffs, you get games like the Ice Bowl. You get ridiculous snow games like Broncos Ravens. It's probably not a great idea for the Super Bowl, but. Like, you play that game indoors, the Broncos still get wrecked. So it's not that big a deal.
I don't know. I mean, if people love it so much, that's what I was going to say. Just play the Super Bowl in the snow then. If that's supposed to be football weather, then let's see how many fans tune in for another,
Oh, they're going to tune in. Everyone's tuning in. They're just not going to show up to the game.
Browns game. Yeah, I like this whole that's what football weather should be. Like, give me a break, guys. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. It's fun. It's exciting, but it's no different than another Sunday. It's another Sunday of football. It's just that you're dealing with snow.
Oh, it's very different. It's the whole game. Everyone's slipping and sliding, and it makes everything a lot more.
No, I know, but it doesn't make it
exaggerated. Because, like, you think back to those legendary matchups with the two great defenses of the Ravens and the Steelers. You know, Ray Lewis, and the Steelers just had that rotation of guys. Whether it was I'm just going to not name any of them, and they'd play. It'd be 10-9. It'd be 13-9. Or whatever.
The Patriots game where they did nothing but kick field goals the whole game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the wind. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
like 50 miles or whatever. I think
isn't that the one that you and I called at school, Nick?
I think it was, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are games like that, but then what happens if you put a greatest show on turf out there in that and it's just a crap game? It's the same thing as all the other games. It's just it's different elements. I don't know when it's now it's football weather because it's snowing. It's been football weather since September. All right, it doesn't matter what it is. It's always
more fun.
Weather.
Why do you hate snow?
It's more fun.
I did
why do you
hate
fun?
In my young age, that's why.
Yeah. Oh, my knees! Snow's coming, Annie.
Like Tony Montana.
No, I just everyone that's like, oh well, now it's football time. There's been a snow game. It's like it's been football time since September, guys. It doesn't.
But it's just more. There's something more fun about it. Like
that was one of the best games of the year. Like, what's a better game than that game this year? Like, name a better game than that ridiculous ending Steelers Browns snow game.
I say that the probably more exciting, unfortunately, would have to be the Chiefs blocking the Broncos kick at the wire.
Yeah,
I don't talk about it.
The Packers Bears blocked field goal at the end of the game. The Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels to win the game.
Those are one play though. This is a whole game of awesome.
It wasn't a whole game. It was only like the third half.
It was the second half.
Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't actually. I haven't got a chance to watch a lot of these games.
It was like 10 minutes into the game, or into the third, or there was like 10 minutes left in the third quarter. And it started kind of snowing.
Oh.
3 minutes later, it was just that almost white out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while. I mean, and like I said, I have nothing wrong with snow games, but the fact that it's like, oh my God, this is how football is supposed to be played. No, football's supposed to be played in all of the elements.
It's fun, and it's so far and few between for a lot of us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that don't get to experience a good snow game. For us, it's normal.
Yeah, and the NFL is getting rid of it. There's so many stadiums have domes in those environments. That's why when they're talking about a new stadium here, they want the dome to be retractable so that you can have concerts and you can have stuff like that. And when it is like dangerous to have it open, you can close it and still play the games. But you don't want to lose that advantage. You don't want to lose that aspect of football. Like that, it's one of those things that makes it great. So it does feel fewer and far betweener. Because it's just so many of those stadiums are. Instead, we have Jerry World getting sun in the receiver's eyes.
Happy Thanksgiving, Nate. Appreciate you listening, tuning in, and watching us, man. I'll see you in a few hours if you're going to be there at school.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, too. Everybody else that's watching us on our various platforms, maybe for your snow day that Colin called, or your snow lunch, or your lunch. Or just your day off because it's the day before Thanksgiving and you wanted an extra day, and I don't blame you.
Maybe you're a rap fan. You're listening to Snow the Product. I don't know.
Huh?
So what you know about that?
Yeah, snow buffs.
But yeah, Nate, everyone at the school, like I said, yes. And as Nick said, I appreciate everyone tuning in and listening to us. And we're thankful for you all listening and watching and helping us to hopefully just continue to grow this thing that we are doing. So appreciate
Sponsored by the Integrity Farms Christmas Snow.
Moving on. So did you guys hear Malone call out basically the entire team after that loss the other night?
Yeah. Well, everyone besides Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Because he messed around and got a double-double.
Oh.
Again.
I love that Like, I didn't think he was going to get I wasn't even sure if he's going to get one more to add to his total. I figured he was just going to be on the team with the guy who's going to keep rising up the ranks to eventually pass him up. But, dude, Russ has been fantastic. But, yeah, no, the Nuggets played zero defense. It was embarrassing to watch. Everyone, like, dude, like, and I've been the guy that's been saying, like, it looks terrible and it's not okay, but Jamal Murray is going to figure it out. He's going to get better in shape. But, like, the shit that he said after the game, like, we all have lives outside of basketball, and, you know, it's a long season, and, you know, we just beat the Lakers a couple days ago. Do you guys not, you know, remember that? You know, let's not talk about us losing. Let's talk about us winning. And it's like, bro, you can't talk about the long season at game like fucking 15. Yeah. Like, it's not been that long, but you're still not even in shape yet. Like, Luka's still working off his beer gut from the offseason. Like, dude, you can't start talking about the length of the season now. If it's like post All-Star break and you've had some injuries, or I guess in Jamal's case, it'd be if he didn't have any injuries and he was tired because of it, because he didn't get the time off that he normally has. But, like, dude, it is getting a lot worse before it gets better. And it's almost looking like it might not get better. And I still think it will. I still think he's going to figure it out. But, dude, if his mentality does not improve over the course of this season, if he doesn't get back that killer instinct, like, dude, this is going to be rough. This is even one of those times where, like, fans start turning on their stars, like Orlando versus Shaq. Obviously, he's not to the same, you know, star level of Shaq, but still, like, I think Malone was absolutely right to call out everybody. Because, you know, he didn't call out Jokic for any of his play. He called out Jokic for his leadership. Yeah. Because Jokic needs to be the one not just setting the example, but, I don't know, pushing the envelope a little bit more. Exactly. Holding people accountable, which is, I love that Russell Westbrook is doing that, and he should be doing that as well. You know, they haven't had a lot of that without, like, DeAndre Jordan can only do so much without guys like Jeff Green, even Ish Smith. But, like, dude, and again, it's one game, so we'd love to overreact. But, like, that's a really bad game. And, like, it's the implications of it are really bad too.
Well, and it's the whole look too. We talked about this the other week. Jamal Murray being in New York for the MMA fights the night before the Memphis game.
Yep.
And and then the whole attitude, well, it's only one game. Well, guess what? If you had won one more game last year, you would have been the number one seed. You wouldn't have had to face Minnesota until the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
You know, if you had won one more game, you would have taken that one seed and had an easier path to the finals. You know, most likely. What is one game? Well, when we look back on it, this isn't a game that's going to ruin the whole season for the Nuggets, but it is, like I said, some insight into where Jamal Murray is at. Like, his mindset, he's gotten paid, and we have interests outside of basketball. Whereas Jokic is, and this, okay, I'm going in two different directions. Jokic is one that's saying, we're here, we got to focus, we got to do this. Jamal Murray says that one week, he says, okay, I'm here, this is the team that's paying me, I got to play well, I got to do well. And then he goes out and says, oh, it's only one game. It's a long season.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a long season, but these games matter. Because when you look at how tight of a conference the West is, or conference division, whatever, the West is, and then the Mountain Division or whatever it's called now. If you come
Pac-12.
out, it's the Pac-12.
The Pac-12.
It's a Pac-12 bunch of teams going for playoff spots. That one game, these things, they can have a snowball effect, since we're on the snow thing, and it can turn into just an avalanche, really, of bad games. And when you're not prepared, when you're not going out to play at full speed, that's also when injuries happen. We've seen it over and over again when guys are trying to protect themselves or preserve themselves and not playing at their full speed. That's when injuries happen. You know,
the Antonio Pierce business decisions.
business decisions. It's business time. So yeah, it pisses me off because
my business sucks.
There you go. I sit here and it's a long season. I should have saged Pepsi or Ballerina before I left.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely should have saged Pepsi. That would have been huge.
They're also shutting down all their plants too.
Dude, yeah, we'd have had so many years of good vibes. Because how long has it been Ballerina for? Like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
I do the same thing. It's, I like to joke and call Fiddler's Green Comfort Dental.
Nope.
Oh God, dude.
Comfort Dental Amphitheater.
Yep.
They were well deserved comments, criticisms of the team from Michael Malone, and the team better respond. I don't know what else to say because right now Malone is working with what he's got, and the rookies haven't stepped up to the level that we all hope or want them to. I think Joe might be frozen. Nope, there. Yeah.
That's a pretty picture.
Oh, he's back, but the rookies really haven't stepped into that role. And granted, the Nuggets lost their first round draft pick, obviously with his ACL or Achilles.
His like lower body injury.
Yeah, his Achilles in the preseason.
Thanks, Ben.
So that's rough on this Nuggets team because you don't have that extra body there that they thought they were going to. But that just means that you have to step up. And Christian Brown hasn't scored under double digits in a game this season, I believe.
It's been amazing.
Is the stat that I saw. I mean, that's the stat I saw. I haven't fact-checked it, but I believe he hasn't scored under double digits the whole season. And that's something that as a replacement for KCP had plenty of games under 10 points last year.
Mm-hmm.
There were more than 5, more than I can count on one hand that happened where he was taken out of games offensively. So Christian has done a great job of stepping up, but you need your stars to also stay in the mode and locked in because now you don't have AG.
Yep.
Yeah.
For a longer period of time too. He had a little bit of a setback. And like there has been a little bit of a silver lining on that, and it's been Hunter Tyson, but he still hasn't been like necessarily playoff rotation good.
He's still wet behind the ears. Like
he's kind of like play. Yeah, I forget if I was saying this to Colin or somebody else. I might have said it on the pod, I don't remember. But he kind of feels like this year's Colin Gillespie, where he's getting playing time. He can play well. He's got that effort. Maybe he can develop into a decent bench guy, but you're getting a look at guys like that you weren't going to get to see. And you're seeing Peyton Watson take a lot more of that offensive responsibility as well. Because with Aaron Gordon now, that was the big knock against Peyton Watson is we know what he can do. It's Peyton Swatson. He's a great perimeter defender. And he has that jump, that range to be able to do decent in the post. He's not really big enough yet, but still having that perimeter defender has been phenomenal. But to have that guy actually be able to score too, so you're not just stuck with Jaden McDaniels or what's the guy for the Lakers that was here that's like a really good defender. Anyway, one of those guys that doesn't score, that's a good defender, but just is kind of a liability on offense. They had that with Peyton Watson. And now you're getting to see him getting the time. He's taking some threes. And Christian Brown, dude, like you said, he's been everything that KCP was and more. Like, obviously, he scores differently. He's not as much of a three-point threat, so he's not spacing the floor as much as KCP did. But what he does is score inside, which KCP never did. He's getting fouled. He's getting buckets. And then when he is left open for threes, he's hitting them. Whereas KCP was going to the corner to draw coverage because he's a really good three-point shooter. So that was always getting the coverage. Or Christian Brown is getting wide open from three a lot of the time, and he's just draining them. And it's been sweet. And what I
want to say on that is that is I believe Christian has a better 3-point percentage than KCP did last year. He's not shooting as many. I believe you're right. Yeah. They are wide open, but he's not taking as many shots, but his percentage is better than KCP's. So all this worry, we don't have the same 3-ball opportunities. That's kind of where MPJ needs to step up and be more consistent. But
100%.
He's been more consistent at it. And when KCP would just shoot those and miss, it would be an empty possession because a lot of times those boards obviously go to the defensive team, the other team. Not always, but a lot of times offensive rebounds are much more difficult to come by. And if you didn't know, now you know. But Christian will, if he doesn't have that shot, like you said, he'll drive the lane and get the easy bucket. So you're at least getting 2 instead of the 3 there. Whereas you were getting more empty possessions when KCP was there. I said this at the start of the season. I wasn't as worried about the KCP loss because I thought Christian would improve his game. And to this point, I feel like he's proven me right.
Yeah. I mean, the only issue that at least I had was the confidence. Will he do those things? Will he have the confidence to drive? Will he have the confidence to shoot? Will he not hesitate? And not pull a hezzy on somebody and do like a dribble like that, like actually just hesitate and screw up. Like you'd see Russell Westbrook do that when he'll drive the hoop and then jump and not really know what the fuck he's going to do with the ball and then kind of throw it. We used to see Facu do that a lot. It would drive me crazy because I loved everything else that Facu did. And then he would do that and it would ruin things. So yeah, he's been a revelation, but that still creates a void on the bench. And especially with Aaron Gordon taking this time out, like, dude, and a lot of people are saying the Nuggets aren't going to make a trade unless something happens. But, dude, I think they need to make some sort of mid-level, unless Dario Saric all of a sudden just figures it the fuck out and becomes exactly the Diet Jokic that we needed him to be. I think they need a little bit more depth, but they do have enough guys to where you can choose where that depth is. You don't have to get a shooter. You don't have to get a big. Like we've used to say in the past, we needed a backup center for Jokic. Before the season, we all said we needed to get 3-point shooting. I still would like to, but they just need one more body to come in and get quality minutes. And if that person's a 3-point shooter, sick. If that person is a big guy that can get buckets and lobs and rebounds, sick.
Well, I mean, we'll find out tonight. They head out to Utah to take on the Jazz. So
the Utards.
7 o'clock. We'll see how that works out. Just real quick before we turn it over to Colin. Avs are in the same boat. They're trying to figure themselves out. I mean, they went on a 4-game roadie, and I mean they threw out a clunker for that final game. You know, I mean when you have to replace Juice with Georgie, and then Georgie with Juice again, that just kind of shows you there's a lot of things going on. And then Miles Wood, as they're leaving down the tunnel after the game, smacks his stick at the top of the tunnel. Probably should have been aware of who was behind him because when his stick broke, the blade hit Bedsy in the head.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I mean you got to be aware, but I think Bednar gets it. I don't think.
Have you not seen the videos of Bednar playing? That was one angry hockey player.
Like I don't think he's angry, but yeah, you should be aware. But I'm
if
glad
I'm Bednar, I'm showing up with a bandage on my head. Like, did you guys see that? That shit. I don't know if I'm gonna be okay, and just mess with him. That's the only way you kind of give him shit for that.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad they're showing some frustration, but Brandon, you were wrong. The Avs goaltending is not fixed. I told you.
Let's go, Brandon.
I told you a long time ago. Just because they had a few, 2, 3, 4 good games string doesn't mean that it was fixed. And this is why the Avs need to make some moves.
And same
because
thing.
You know what? No, I was just gonna say because without any moves, there is no victories, and without victories, there's no victory formation.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin, just kind of winging it.
That's right. This is the victory formation. Nick, did you have something on the Avs?
They play tonight at 8 o'clock against Vegas at Ball Arena.
Oh, too bad it wasn't in Vegas the other night when I was there because I totally would have double dipperooed.
Double dipperoo.
Well,
get that in there.
this past slate of games, two of us only single dipperooed, one of us quadruple dipperooed. So that means two of us, went 1-4, and then one of us went 4-1. Let's get into it. We'll start off with that Steelers-Browns games that we talked about earlier. The Browns come out victorious in the snow game because God has blessed us with this ability to play in the snow. And I was the only one to pick the Browns over the Steelers in this game, while Russell Wilson looked like Russell Wilson walking himself into sacks. That means I won 26-40 on that. Next, it was the Eagles and the Rams. Well, it was close for about a quarter, and then the Eagles said, "Fly, Eagles, fly," and they flew past the Rams. Nick and Joe both chose that one right, winning 16-45. Ravens and Chargers, me and Joe both picked the Chargers in this one, and they got their asses whooped in the Harbaugh, and Nick won 17-04 for that one.
Nothing makes me happier than Jim Harbaugh losing.
Army Notre Dame. Well, yeah, let's just say the service academies don't belong in the top 25 as much as I wanted them to. Nick, you're the only one smart enough to choose Notre Dame, even though it only won you $1.60 at $11.60 out of that. And then Auburn, Iowa State, another game that went to overtime. Auburn won this one in OT. Nick, you got that one correct too, winning 15-71. That means the big loser on the week is Joe, losing 23-55, but still in first, 950-93. I lost $13.60. I'm in second still at 917.31. Nick, you won $50.80, bringing you back up over 800, 834.20. Let's get into the picks for these next 2 days because we'll have our show Saturday. We have the all Thanksgiving to start, and then the Black Friday game, all NFL, Bears, Lions. Some of these are going to be a little bit easier to pick. So Bears, Lions. Nick, who you got in the first game of Thanksgiving?
Yeah, give me
all right, Nick. The Bears look really good.
I'm sure they do.
Joe, who you got?
Oh yeah, it's Lions.
Yeah, we're biting
the Bears do look really good. They've looked much better. Caleb Williams has looked better since they changed their offensive coordinator. I just don't think, they're not on. We're sweeping it. Give me the Lions. So everybody put your money on the Bears. Next, we move on to the Giants going to Jerry's World. Giants underdogs at -142. Cowboys favored at -170. Who's the quarterback of both of these teams? Is it Trey Lance? Is it Cooper Rush? Is it Tommy DeVito? Is it Drew Lock?
It's not
Drew. Nobody knows. It could be Drew Lock. Didn't you hear Tommy DeVito's hurt?
Yeah. Really? No. Yeah. I didn't know that.
That's why I'm saying none of these teams know who their quarterback is going to be this weekend. So, Joe, with all of that uncertainty, who you got?
Horse, cock, lock. Horse, cock, lock. Here we go. I mean, the Cowboys, they have more talent for sure, but they played an injured Jaden Daniels last week with a declining offense, like Colin said. Yeah, I think even though the Giants have less, Brian Dable, I think he's better.
So you're taking the Giants?
Yeah.
Okay, I am taking the Cowboys at home. I feel like last week's win might actually help propel the Cowboys into at least a win against the lowly Giants, who right now are just trying to lose out to get the number one pick. Nick, who you got?
Yeah, as much as I'd love to pick Drew Lock, I got to go with the Cowboys. As much fun as that would be.
We move on to the nightcap, where it is the Dolphins versus the Packers in Green Bay. Dolphins came out with an offensive explosion last week. Packers looked okay against the San Francisco 49ers, but could be without the services of Romeo Doubs in this game. I don't think it matters. I think the Packers beat the Dolphins at home. Nick, who you got?
Go Pack, go.
Joe.
I'm gonna give it the old hawk too. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Dolphins though. I think it's gonna be fun. I think they're trending just high enough, and they're in that holy shit, we have to win every single game mode where I feel like the Packers can afford to kind of make it to the playoffs and just try to get there healthy.
Yeah, I don't know. That division's the Vikings are kind of sucking too, but yeah, I could see it. I don't know. I'll That should be the game of. I mean, honestly, Cowboys Giants might be a closer game just because both teams suck. But the best game will probably be Dolphins Packers, even if one of those teams ends up winning by double digits.
Sometimes the game with two shitty teams is really fun.
Next we move on to the Black Friday special game where one team's wearing black, and that's the Raiders. They're facing the Chiefs in Kansas City. Chiefs are -700 favorites. Raiders are +500. Nick, is there any reason you're going to pick the Raiders?
No.
Joe, is there any reason you're going to pick the Raiders?
No.
Yeah, let's make it a clean sweep. As much as I'd like to take the Raiders, just because I'd love to see the Chiefs lose and have the Broncos have a chance at the moving up and even in the division.
Again, it's the Raiders, and they show up for games like that. Though
in Kansas City, I don't think for this first Friday game that's happening. So.
Yeah, I have a reason to. It's Gardner Minshew. I'd love Gardner Minshew, but
Gardner Minshew's out.
Yeah, he's kind of broke his clavicle.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
no,
he's not playing it. There's a reason why the Chiefs are favored at -700. So the Raiders would just be daydreaming about a victory if they thought that they could pull that one out against the Chiefs.
Yeah, there's no success there at all. So thank you everybody for joining us today, this afternoon, this snowy day, pre-Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody as well. We are thankful for you that continue to let us do this and make fun of us and let us be goofy.
Yeah, call us Jive Turkeys.
Yes. Thank you, Michael Spillane, and everybody over at e5280sports.com for hosting us. Thank you to Pikes Peak Sports Cards, our sponsor. And thank you, Colin and Joe, for doing this with me. Pretty much without you guys, I would be a talking head.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, guys.
So for Colin Zanker and Joe Goodwin, this has been Undrafted Uncensored. I'm Nick Archuleta. Happy Thanksgiving. Go eat.
Happy Thanksgiving. God bless Bo Nix.
Thanks.
God bless Drew Lock.